What is the purpose of backlog refinement? Product backlog refinement. One of my favourite topics. If you ever come on my CSM or indeed the more advanced courses, I'm probably going to talk about it, and I'm going to get you to talk about it and discuss why it exists. But it came about for a very simple reason. In the early days of Agile, we were Agile. We didn't do any upfront planning. We went into sprint planning. I used Scrum very early on, and we looked at the most important thing in the backlog, and we invariably said, we don't get what that means. We don't understand it. We've got questions. We don't know how to do this. We don't even know where to start. There was lots of things we couldn't do because we were Agile, because we didn't do anything up front. And slowly over time, the community came up with this idea that maybe we need to do a little bit of work beforehand. Okay? And that is backlog refinement, product backlog refinement. You may sometimes hear it called grooming. I'm not a fan of the phrase. In the UK, that has very different connotations to the rest of the world. But product backlog refinement is its proper name. And it's the process whereby we share understanding about what the problem is we're trying to solve. What's the work we need to do? What's the outcome we're looking for? So it's a meeting. It doesn't have to be a formal meeting. It can be very ad hoc. In fact, some teams do a mix of both. They have something in the diary and they do off-the-cuff conversations with people to explore the problem space, to develop their understanding and share it across the team. So in this meeting, you're going to have a product owner or a customer or somebody who understands the issue at hand. Okay? And they are there to explain it and to answer questions. And you're going to have some developers, likely from different disciplines. So you might have coders, you might have testers, you might have architects, you might have writers. Whatever your team has in it, you want at least a few, ideally everybody represented. Okay? And they're going to talk about it. So there's going to be questions, there's going to be answers, going to be ideas crop up. New items may form. Existing items may break down into smaller pieces. The work is going to be sized, it's going to be estimated maybe, and it's going to be resized, re-estimated. Value as perceived by that product owner is likely to shift as you explore the space, as you understand that problem better. Okay? We're not talking about the solution, we're talking about the problem itself. What is the problem we're trying to solve? What is the need we're trying to meet? Okay? And this is backlog refinement. So all of those conversations you've been having about what the problem is exist as part of PBR. Okay? And that is what we're trying to do, so that when you go into sprint planning, so that when you pick up an item that you want to take and work on, you are truly ready to do so. We're not talking completely analysed and designed and everything polished, every question answered. What we're looking for is this state in the Scrum world called ready. Simply, as a team, we are confident that if we take this in, we can get it done within the time frame. So some of those questions aren't answered, some of those ideas aren't fully fleshed out, but we are confident that as a team we can solve those problems in the time left. So if you're not doing product backlog refinement today, I wholeheartedly recommend you get started with it. Many of the teams that I work with today, when we go in, actually it's PBR that we need to work on. Okay? They'll say, oh, we're struggling with planning, or we keep taking things in too big. Great, well, let's go upstream a bit and understand, how did you get there? What were the steps? And normally we'll end up with, they're not doing enough refinement or any at all, or they're not doing a great job of it. They're rushing through it or whatever. Okay? So we'll go back and we'll work with them to help them understand better what good product backlog refinement can look like and help them alleviate those problems downstream. So if you're not doing it, please do so. If you are doing it, great. If you're struggling in the sprint, if you're struggling in planning, it's often a sign that you want to spend a bit more time in this. Okay? Earlier on in the sprint before, just getting ready for that upcoming work, thinking about what are the questions that we need to ask, who are the people we need to talk to, what are the skills we need, is there anything we need to think about so that when we do need to do this work, we can. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.